I used to work the pinboy in a bowling alley there in New Mexico, there in Alamordo. And then we heard that they had opened up a bowling alley there at the Holloman. So my mother took us, and she used to take me there to see if I could get a job as a pin setter, you know, for the GIs when they bowl. We're going to the base early that morning, 6 of us in that car. And it wasn't quite light, you know, it was just early in the morning. Yeah, I guess she had to get to the base, you know, because she was a cook. They had to set up some meals, you know, for the GIs. So it was a little dark when we just went over the overpass. You said, you know, we just went over the overpass, and I guess it was a little ways after we went over the overpass, and then there was this huge blast, huge light that came from we were going west, and this blast that just lit up the whole sky. It was in the north, and she pulled the car off to the side, I believe. Anyway, we got out of the car. All of us got out of the car. There's this huge ball of fire, huge, gigantic, it was a monstrous thing. And we all looked at it, kept looking at it, and kept looking at it, and the thing was just boiling over. Just boiling over, and then that light up on top. And my mother said, he says, in Spanish, she says, "Ha rayado el sol, se va a acabar el mundo." Well, I want to see the world end. My mother said, "Se va a acabar el mundo." She said that means the world is going to end. I want to see it end. That's why I kept looking. Me and my brother, we kept looking. We were going to see the end of the world. I mean, it was... I don't know if I was scared or... I really can't put it together. I can't put words to describe that, just that few minutes, you know. And me and my brother, you know, looked at each other, so we just stayed upright instead of going to our knees, you know. Because she said that the end of the world is coming. And, you know, God. I don't know how I associated God, but anyway, God was supposed to, you know, come out of that huge ball of fire. I imagine him with huge, gigantic, just stepping towns and wiping them out. I mean, that's what I imagine. A God that huge. I mean, I was looking up at it. It was just, we looked at it, finally went blind. That thing that was boiling over was, it wasn't white, it was like grayish. It was huge. Never seen so big in my life. I mean, that thing was just boiling over, like just huge. We couldn't, you know, people asked me, could you hear anything? I said, no, I don't remember, you know. It was huge, and then I didn't feel like, you know, like, I mean, the thing was just boiling over. I mean, that thing was just, like it was just, and then that flame. And I was expecting God to come out, you know, up from around it. I said, you know, scared. We were scared, you know, God's going to end the world. So anyway, it didn't happen that way. After a while, I guess, you know, that things just kind of simmered down, and got in the car and went on to the base. And then my brother and I discovered that, you know that old film in them cameras, the black and white camera, the very old ones, the negative? That's where our eyesights had developed to that. Just like we were just looking like, just like a negative, a black and white negative. Afterward. And that lasted for days and days. I thought, you know, my brother and I thought that just the way we were going to live the rest of our lives, you know, just black and white. But eventually, our sights came back to normal. I don't know, I've had trouble with my vision ever since. Afterwards, you know, we used to go to the base, we used to look around, see if we were going to see another blast. No, we didn't. Just, I don't know, it was strange, you know, very strange after that blast, you know, like things never went back to normal. And years later, we found out that they had set off the atomic blast. Why? We were told that it was because it was sparsely populated. The military, the people that were there at the blast site, I was told that they were wearing glasses for the blast, all of them. I just never thought of, you know, it never entered my mind to even ask my mother, you know, if her eyesight was damaged. Or the other, I think there's 3 other women in that car. Never thought of asking them. When she died, you know, she died of that, I guess, the radiation. It's very hard, you know. She had that cancer in her throat, and my cousins have also died of the same thing. They stayed there. We moved out. Well, my mother moved out, I guess, I don't know, it affected her later life. But she died, and we moved out of there after the blast, 1945. We came to Denver. Now we heard, we learned that when we went to that reunion, the Trinity site there in Tularosa, he said that some of the people in Arizona, in Nevada, had gotten compensated. Olivia Fermi, that's a granddaughter to the man who developed the A-bomb. And she made herself known that her grandfather is the one who developed the bomb. And she said, I'm here to apologize for what he did. The hardest thing is that people don't understand. I find it it's hard to believe. You know, people find it very hard to believe that things like this happened. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, it's just, they don't believe it. They do not. We live a very wonderful life. And we don't never stop to realize, you know, how devastating it can get in a second or two. And just wipe us all out. Got these darn missiles.